Mystery Flight. When Caitriona Balfe followed Sam Heughan back to Scotland. In a breezy, high-rise hotel room, Sam Heughan sat in front of a large glass window overlooking the street. He was preparing for a special tour he was taking to his native Scotland, a journey he called Back to the Roots. On his desk was a map of Scotland, a few notes, and a flight schedule. He poured himself a cup of tea and choked up with thoughts of home, green fields, sparkling lakes, misty hills. For the first time in years, he was about to return to the land of his childhood, but this time, he had no idea that the trip would include a surprise passenger. In the other corner of the room, Caitriona Balfe was getting dressed to meet friends. She looked at her phone and saw a message from an unknown number. "I want you there. Get on the flight tonight." Caitriona frowned. Was this a vague invitation, or a sign of something bigger? She wondered why Sam hadn't sent an official invitation, but had made a secret note of it. Although she was a little worried, she still had a small belief in her heart. If he really needed her, she would come. She packed quickly, took out the spare plane ticket from her hidden account, and put it in her small bag. Outside, the rain was still falling lightly. She looked up at the sky, thinking, am I entering a mysterious flight, or just a path to a surprise? Los Angeles Airport, curious eyes. Caitriona appeared at LAX Airport late at night. She wore a long black coat, a woolen hat, and sunglasses, trying to hide herself. Small suitcases rolled with each step. Her eyes glanced at the flight information board. Los Angeles right pointing arrow Edinburgh, connecting right pointing arrow Inverness. This flight was not on her public schedule. She walked through security, her heart pounding. Every glance from strangers in the hallway made her shiver. Had someone recognized her? Reporters, fans, rumors. She told herself to stay calm, not to let anyone read her bewildered expression. At the same time, in the business class lounge, Sam Heughan was chatting with his assistant about logistics. He took a sip of coffee, glanced at his phone screen. There was a message from an unknown number. I've assigned you a seat. When you board, sit in row 12, window, to look out. He smiled slightly, replied simply, I understand. See you there. At that moment, the assistant looked at the lounge screen and whispered. Sam, Caitriona is entering gate 9 over there. Sam frowned, stood up, and followed. Was it a coincidence? Or a secret sign that only he and Caitriona knew? In front of them, two different corners of the airport, they were both preparing for a mysterious journey. In the air, the road to Scotland, the plane took off, over the Los Angeles night, heading towards the North Atlantic. In the business class cabin, the passengers were few, the lights were dim. Caitriona was sitting by the window, the cabin light reflecting on her face, a mixture of tension and determination. She looked out, where the dark clouds rolled, and wondered, am I taking a risk? Opposite her was an empty seat. Because she had chosen a separate seat, no one beside her to keep her distance. She took out her headphones, listened to soft music, trying to stop her heart from beating too fast. She pulled out her hidden phone from her small pocket, looked at the message from Sam. Just come, trust me. We will meet in Scotland. In the nearby business class cabin, Sam sat comfortably, looking around, his eyes calm. He took out his tablet, checked the schedule, checked the flight code. Suddenly the assistant came. Mr. Sam, we have confirmed that Mrs. Balfe is also on this flight, sitting in row 12 of the window. Sam was silent for a few seconds and then said, thank you. No need to change anything. He looked out again, through the small window, his shadow faintly beside the cabin lights, and wondered, is she afraid? Or is she excited by the surprise? The plane flew over the night sea, landing gently at Edinburgh Airport. The door opened, the runway lights illuminated. Light rain fell outside the window, the air was damp and cold with a smell of mist. The plane connected to the domestic route to Inverness, and then continued onto the Highlands. Caught at Edinburgh Airport, as the passengers disembarked, Caitriona pulled her suitcase out of the cabin. She strained her ears to listen to the small fragments, quietly observing her surroundings. In the crowd of luggage and passengers, she saw Assistant Sam coming over, looking around. The assistant leaned over, his eyes glancing at a tall, black-hatted figure. He hesitated for a second, then approached. Caitriona held her breath. Would the assistant recognize her? He walked past, stopped in front of another passenger, then continued walking. She let out a shaky breath, and continued walking. When she stepped out of the airport doors, the Scottish sky greeted her with a light rain and a hazy mist. She pulled her coat up over her chest, bowed her head. Once out of the airport, she quietly turned down a side street, heading for the private parking lot. She didn't want to attract attention among the throngs of TV reporters or paparazzi who might be hiding outside. And there, in front of the shiny black SUV, Sam and his assistant were waiting. Sam looked at her, eyes blazing with joy. Caitriona stopped upside down, looking at him, saying nothing. The rain gently fell on her shoulders, the bride's face, her two hands holding a small suitcase. Sam stepped forward, spreading his arms. Caitriona, you're here. His voice was warm. She shook her head, her eyes filled with tears. I am afraid it will be revealed. Sam held her hand. You're safe. No one knows we'll be on the same flight, only our family. Today, this mysterious trip is for you. She looked into his eyes, a feeling of peace spread. She stepped into his arms, and in that harsh moment, Scotland rain fell meticulously as if to congratulate their unexpected satisfaction. Misty Valley and Ancient Village, the SUV sped through the misty roads, leading into the Highland Valley. The Highland chill seeped through her coat, but Caitriona's heart warmed. The scenery outside, pine forests, misty green mountains, winding streams, was like something out of a Scottish fairy tale. Sam steered the wheel, whispering, I want to take you to a place I often go to, a small village at the foot of the hill, with deserted fields and clear lakes. She nodded, her eyes sparkling with anticipation. They crossed the dirt road, leading into the quiet village. The rain was still falling lightly, but between them, a gentle warmth spread. The village was nestled beside the lake, ancient stone roofs, shady trees. Smoke rose thinly from the chimney, the smell of wood and damp leaves wafted through. They stopped at a small wooden house, its windows a warm yellow. This was the place Sam had rented as a secret stop on tour, to find some peace before the big night. Caitriona walked in, her eyes scanning every corner. Rustic wooden tables, wicker chairs, a few candles and glass jars. Glass doors overlooking the lake and misty hills. She thought to herself, this is where I want to be. No fanfare, no stage lights, just us and nature. Sam closed the door, drew the curtains, and turned on the soft yellow light. He turned to her, smiling, Are you tired? She shook her head slightly. Fair enough, but with you, everything is easy. He took her hand and pulled her to the glass door overlooking the lake. We'll rest today. Tomorrow is the show, and you'll be behind the lights with me, but no one will know. She smiled. I can't wait. Before the show, darkness and lights. Night follows day. However, before the show began, rumors spread that Caitriona had secretly followed Sam all the way, and Hollywood was shocked by her mysterious flight. Entertainment sites carried headlines like, Caitriona secretly flies to Scotland with Sam. First appearance, Hollywood shocked by hidden romance. Sam read the headlines on the assistant's phone next to him. His eyes immediately fell on the image depicting the two of them on the same flight, the blurry image of a figure in the airport. He felt startled, but then, he suppressed it, flipped the screen over and stood up. Caitriona was applying light makeup in the small room behind the stage. She looked in the mirror, but could not hide her anxiety. The rumors were like shadows lingering, wanting to cling to her. The assistants knocked lightly on the door, saying that the audience was starting to take their places, the stage lights were about to turn on, she needed to prepare. Sam came behind the curtain, looked at her, the dim light through the curtains made a shadow of them close together. He said softly, "Are you okay? It's all just a hypothesis. Tonight, out of the light, people will see the real you, not a newspaper headline." She replied softly, "I'll stand beside you, like a shadow. If anyone asks, we have our own reasons for being silent." Sam smiled and kissed her lightly on the cheek. They walked out the back door together, where the stairs led to the stage. The lights came up, the audience applauded loudly. Sam went on stage first, the spotlights were on, the opening music was playing. A moment later, Caitriona came out, not officially appearing, but quietly standing behind the stage, under a soft backlight. This image, her gentle, the collar of her dress faintly shining, was captured by a photographer and posted online immediately. The audience gasped. Many shouted her name. Sam stopped playing, turned back, looked at her, his eyes seemed to say, "Thank you." She smiled, bowed slightly, and they walked off stage after the show, hand in hand. The interview that night. After the show, in the backstage room, entertainment reporters had crowded into the private area. They, along with flashbulbs, cameras, and microphones, focused on Sam and Caitriona. Hollywood was waiting for an explanation. Did she follow you on the flight? Was it a secret relationship? Why not make it public from the beginning? Sam pulled Caitriona toward him, raised his hand to shield her from the lights. He looked into the camera, his voice clear. Caitriona came to Scotland with me. It was her choice, but there was no secret except that we wanted to keep it private until the time was right. The flight tonight, because I wanted her by my side before the big night. Not because of rumors, because she is special to me. Caitriona replied, "I know many people will be curious, will ask questions. But I just want to say, the feelings between us are not a story of word of mouth. This flight was my own decision, because I believe, when we are together, we are stronger than any rumors." A reporter shouted, "So do you regret keeping it a secret?" Caitriona looked straight into the lens, "No regrets. There are beautiful things that you want to keep quiet. But today, when the lights are on, I stand here, sincerely." Both of them laughed, then walked out of the room, amidst the lights and the sound of the camera, but inside, in their hearts, there was peace. The next morning, responding to public opinion, when the morning came, entertainment sites around the world simultaneously reported, mysterious flight to Scotland. Caitriona follows Sam, Hollywood is surprised, couple hides in the middle of the night flight, explanation after the night flight, love or trick. Sam and Caitriona sat in front of the computer in the small house by the lake, looking at each title, each comment. Some was supportive, some was skeptical. Caitriona wiped her eyes gently with her hand, but could not hide her tiredness. Sam patted her hand. "Look, many people say we are brave. Some people ask questions, but the majority believe in sincerity. We will post a common sharing, not letting rumors shake the beauty between us." She nodded. They wrote together, "Last night's flight was a personal choice, a way for us to be together before the big night. We didn't want rumors to interfere with our true feelings. Thank you to everyone who understood and supported us. Our feelings didn't need any tricks, just time, trust, and honest moments. They posted a photo of Caitriona standing behind the stage lights, Sam looking at the audience, both holding hands as they left the stage. The post received thousands of likes and comments from fans. True love doesn't need to be hidden. Thank you for the truth. Hollywood is shocked that two real hearts can't be hidden. A walk in the morning mist. The next day, they didn't dare any more press. They left the small village, walking along the dirt road by the lake, in the mist. A light rain was still falling, the grass was still dewy. No reporters, no flashbulbs, just them and nature. Caitriona walked slowly, holding Sam's hand. She said softly, I want to say that, regardless of public opinion, regardless of rumors, I chose to take that flight because I trusted my own feelings. Sam hugged her gently, and you did the right thing. When everything is silent, we only have the voice of the heart. Today, we will be together, not to prove to anyone, but to prove to ourselves. They stopped by the edge of the lake, looking at the scenery reflected in the calm water. Trees, drifting clouds, distant hills, like a dreamy picture in a memory book. Sam took a small box from his pocket, not a ring, but a small necklace engraved with the names, CS. He put it around Caitriona's neck, saying, for you, to remind you every day that wherever I am, that is home. She trembled, placing her hand on his heart. You are the place I want to return to. They hugged each other in the morning mist, their hearts as peaceful as the stillness of nature.